Hello, Matt Elliott here.
Hi, Alan Smith here.
Hey guys, Ian Hume here.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here.
Be sure to watch
Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV
for all the latest Leicester City news and information.
You can also subscribe on YouTube and various social media channels.
for the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Come on, you foxes!
Happen in 49, 61, 63 or 69 when they reach the final. But the class of 2021 have delivered. Leicester City are FA Cup winners at last and are history makers at Wembley.
They have blown their rivals away. They have blown us all away in truth. Premier League champions 2016. The amazing Leicester City.
Leicester Till I Die TV, your first choice for everything Leicester City. Tune in and join in now.
Right, Chris.
All right there, how the devil are we all? If you're like me, you are nervous. This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Find us on YouTube at the said Leicester Till I Die TV. And if you're watching on YouTube, please smash those likes, share if you can, and be sure to give us a subscribe. And if you are listening on podcast, thank you very much. It is just a little matter of this tonight. And no, I tell you what, I am so nervous. I was thinking that I'm going to have a sore arse in the morning, and I thought I better not say that because I know you lot, you'll take it the wrong way. But I just said to Brad before, I'm going to sit on the toilet and I'm going to watch it on my mobile phone. Then I don't have to keep getting up every 5 minutes. Hey, it's the second leg against Eindhoven. Biggest match in Leicester City's history, Brad. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chris. For me it is. People might scoff at that and instantly think, games where we won the league or the Champions League, for obvious reasons, playing in the quarterfinals at home to Atletico might be bigger, but for me, this is it. It's equal to it at very worst a greatest moment, because it's the biggest game of Leicester's history again, because it's a quarter final for a cup competition.
Yes, yeah,
a cup competition that they've never got to the semi-finals of before. So this would be another achievement in the books for the football club as a whole.
I mean, I feel sorry. It's not like a full preview we're doing here. We're just, doing it because of what it is. But I think when we played Atletico Madrid in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, I kind of, with that, sort of thought, well, if we go out, it's Atletico Madrid, and I didn't really think we were going to win the Champions League, if I'm honest with you. Well, with this one, it's kind of, and I know there's big clubs in there, and I've said, we've got the PSV Eindhoven, we've got the Romas, and all those, but I just, I think we've got a better chance of winning this than we ever did with the Champions League. and I think we can make it through to the semis.
Yeah, obviously, I can understand why people would look at that because there's that notion, isn't there? That there's the top 5 or 6 leagues, big leagues, isn't there? If you want to, they get that title. It's like the world big 6 version, isn't it? You've obviously got England, Germany, Italy, France, Spain, and I guess America for the MLS. I don't know. I can't think top 6 league, but
I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean. Yeah.
But actually, PSV are a very, very good side. In comparison to Atletico, they're probably, for what they've achieved in their league, because people might go, oh, yeah, they only won their cup. Well, Atletico only won their cups. You know what I mean? Just because you've got to remember, these have had European success. These have had 2 European cups. They were quite dominant throughout the period. And I actually want to make a comparison to us to PSV. I said that back to stage, isn't it, Chris? And I checked their history out just briefly before the show. And in the early 70s, they were kind of pushed back. It was Ajax and Feyenoord that were the big boys. They were like that Premier League club like Leicester are trying to break into that top 6 because they were kind of not winning as much through that early 70s. They were the outsiders that were in that small period. They were trying to break the Feyenoord, the new partnership of Feyenoord and Ajax riding, pushing each other for titles. They had to regain that right, and they ended their fairy tale is they're now doing that, and they continue to win trophies and titles. I'm not saying Leicester are going to go and achieve amazing things like that in this division. Obviously comparing leagues. It's not what we're doing tonight. We're comparing its moments. And you think if they do that, the comparisons between clubs in certain periods, minus obviously their success because they've been far more successful than a lot of clubs. There are a lot of people probably know. If you go and check out their history, they've won a hell of a lot, and they've had areas of dominance where it has literally been them. Europe, everything, league, cups, everything. You check it out. They're probably harder than Atletico are to take on because of that.
Yeah, quite possibly. And I mean, as if by magic, here we go. They've won 24 domestic league titles. I almost knew you were going to say this, didn't I? 9...
No, it's like we script this, mate.
It almost looks like we rehearsed, didn't it? 9 KNV Cups, 12 Johan Cruyff Shields, 1 European or Champions League as now is, and 1 UEFA. And now Europa League as is. So, they have had a lot of success in the past. And just to say hello to Melina. I hope you are well. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for your wishes. And thanks to Ryan as well for joining us and wishing us the best for tonight. I mean, I can say there are some big names in there. I mean, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily still big, if you like. I suppose let's just have a look at Man United. They're not. If you played Man United now, you wouldn't be thinking, "Oh God, this is the Man United that was successful." But I don't know whether I've been drawn into this fact that it's the Conference League or whatever. But I do feel confident.
Yeah, and there's no reason we shouldn't. I mean, again, stressing the point. Apart from the team that Roma are against, every single club in this competition has at least once played it at the highest level, and probably 4 or 5 of them have won the competition or the Europa League at some point in their life. So people might hear the word conference and it's been speculated that maybe because it's conference we think of the English leagues and how it's referred to then and looked upon, which you shouldn't, because the conference is where every club journeyed from since football began. There's been a league like that clubs work their way through. But even then, if you actually looked and paid attention to the competition and didn't just write it off, you would see that it's packed with absolute class teams for their leagues. And it's a credit to the competition, the fact that despite everything that is going on, it's actually good for clubs that benefit from it in other countries as well. They're getting more exposure. They're getting more teams on the telly, so people are going, "Oh, these teams actually are good and can actually kick a ball." We thought the Swede leagues were throwing it at each other, because that's the mentality you seem to see with some of the, the way teams have played, especially English clubs have played against these sort of lesser nations, and that's what's knocked them out. West Ham, for the biggest example of that, their Europa League journey, they got knocked out in qualifiers by Vauxhall Motors. It was a team, that's a tongue-in-cheek. I couldn't pronounce the team's name that they got knocked out by, and someone's going to probably give me a slap wrist for that, for seemingly mocking it. But they got knocked out because they completely rotated the side. They played youngsters. They played a weird formation. They didn't take it seriously.
Did they get about to get knocked out, but they equalised in the 90th minute or something?
Well, yeah, they did this time. But what I'm saying is, you can see the difference between from their mistakes, because they didn't take it seriously, and they'd admit that. Slaven Bilic didn't really take it that serious. He gave the opportunity to kids. He didn't, it was deemed he wasn't taking it serious. But now you look at how they've gone about this competition. They're on for winning it, and that's got a competition that's got Barcelona in.
Yeah,
and the opponents they're playing tonight, Marseille, isn't it? They've got Marseille.
Leon.
Sorry, apologies. But still, they're taking on impressive opponents, and they must feel their confidence in winning it. And I bet they're really glad that David Moyes has got a group of, just as excited as Leicester fans are about this competition, that they've got a manager that wants to take competitions like this seriously and wants to win them. Because that's why Leicester have had such a good fortune in league positions and cup success, i.e. the FA Cup, and getting what we've got in Europe so far, where we've got to. It all comes about from that mentality, and I like to see it in the clubs.
So I'll just say, hi Mike, thanks for joining us. I put a date and a time in for you and Brad. He was asking.
I'm starting half an hour early in you, Mike, so I can get all the questions right.
Yes. I'm running it
and
through
still lose. And still lose.
Mike, I'm going to ask you, Mike, why you're in there. Cause we've had an Arsenal fan wishing us good luck. We've had a Huddersfield fan wishing us good luck. As a Man United fan, and the banter between Premier League teams, would you want us to win this tonight? Because I know, I've got to be honest with you, when I was watching Man United Bayern Munich final, I remember I was feeding my firstborn with his bottle of milk while I was watching it. And when that last minute goal went in, the milk went everywhere because it was an English team. So be good, nice to see what you got to say on that, Mike. I mean, I suppose my confidence as well, Brad, is the way we played against Palace. We made 7 changes, and we've suddenly got this squad that we've had also, that we've now there. Everybody's been saying, well, we've now got a big enough squad, blah, blah, blah. Melina, you've gone down in my estimation. I only want Leicester to win tonight, so Madison and Barnes can keep form for my.
You know what? No, I'm happy with that, Melina. I hope you get as many points as possible from them tonight. I hope they go and bag a hat trick. I hope they get star man. I hope they get everything for you just to get one of them points. I'd take it happily if them two start had a performance now, Melina. For that, I'm happy for it.
Melina, I don't know if you've seen. There's a new video out in the shops, just been released today by Arsenal Football Club. It's just a quick guide to their season so far, and this is for Arsenal. When I said that 4th was Arsenal's to lose, I didn't expect that they'd go and lose it so early. But hey, there we go, Melina. No, I'm saying my confidence, I suppose, is the fact that how we played against Chelsea. We made 7 changes. We've got this big squad which we can now utilise. Sorry, Palace. Yeah.
Chelsea. I wish we played like Chelsea. I'd love that as well.
And suddenly, we've suddenly got this big squad. We've actually got them back fit and on the bench, if you like. Before we've had to put youngsters on the bench, and we've not had a full bench. So it's kind of all coming right, I think, just at the right time. Yeah,
it is. And maybe I need to start asking you for lottery numbers, because you called this early in the season. Well, a fan thinking for more than a few minutes. I mean that. I don't mean that sounds horrible. What I mean is just giving it a bit of a thought and looking at it as a whole, and just to take everything in at Leicester. It probably was a fair assessment to make of how our season could potentially go with the injuries we had. And it feels so nice, and it does make me smile every time. And it sounds so weird to say this, what I'm about to say, because it's nice to hear that we made 7 changes because we could.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's so weird, but the way it's been for us this season, and felt cursed at some point because we were the team that weren't moaning about it and got on with it, even though it wasn't going great for us. And we had a few moments. I think it just shows how good. I would like to re-ask people, just, and I know this isn't, I'm going off a bit off topic. I'd like to re-ask people. Now, in a few weeks' time, I'll re-ask them if things keep improving. I've got a question to re-ask everybody, certain people out there, see where they stand on Brendan Rodgers, because I want to see if they feel now that he's managing his full team again, things are going okay.
Yes.
As people started to lee off a bit on him.
No, it's a good point. It's a good point. As I always said, as Clinton Morrison said that time, judge him when he's got all his players fit, you know.
Yeah. And tonight was pivotal, the fact that he's been able to make them changes and they're not.
Yes.
Well, none of them seem in force. I think everybody that is available is back. So we have got available everybody, we've got enough to make a bench or put strong caliber and have our pass.
Yeah.
What Brendan
we'll probably go through the team and look at it. And well, thank you, Mike. Well said. Appreciate that. We'll maybe sort of look and look at the team. But just a few things he said at his press conference. I mean, again, I can't believe I'm reading this season about Leicester. Everyone is fine, and there are no fresh injury concerns. On leading Leicester to his hello.
Sorry, I just collapsed a little bit. I don't think I've heard that all season.
No.
Fresh injury worries. You heard it here first, people.
On leading Leicester to a first European semi-final, Roger said, "Be the first to do anything is always nice." He said, "This is a great opportunity for us, and we're ready to grasp it." First leg gives Rodgers confidence. We know we have players that can score goals. He praised the mix of youth and experience. He's relaxed about Kasper's Michael's contract situation. I can't see him leaving. Kieran Dewsbury Hall, he's been a revelation for us. Jamie Vardy's had an injection on his MCL industry, and Roger said we'll see over the course of next week what effect the injection has had. So he's not going to be playing tonight, I'm pretty sure on that.
Yeah, no, we knew that. We knew that anyway. I think he actually did outright rule Jamie Vardy out before because he said he was going to have the injection on the day of it, and it'd take a few 4 or 5 days to see how it goes. So I knew Vardy wasn't going to be picked for tonight, which is probably good because I'd like to see it in a weird way. You know, we did just briefly touch on it. We said this is probably now going to be the transition where Vardy's managed as best they can to not put him, not to push him. And I kind of feel that they're going to nurture him back and are not going to want to play him as much as I know he wants to, and he knows he wants to. And it's great to hear the positivity from him, telling his teammates that he's going to play, he's definitely going to play, says that it's whatever it is, he's going to be able to recover from it or be back within that week if that injection does what it's supposed to do for him. But I think it's good in a way that we're going to get a bit more of Ian Action, possibly Daka or whoever it starts with tonight.
Yes.
For going forward more than anything, because I think next season will be a restricted Vardy. It'll be a cameo.
To be honest with you, and I was just going to say this actually, and hi to Hayden, how are you? I was actually on a Newcastle show last night, and I'm doing more Newcastle shows than I am my own shows this week, I tell you. But they were saying about Jamie Vardy, and as I've said, you could see this coming. He stopped playing for England so he could prolong his league career. Then he stopped, and I think now he can do it when he's fit. But when he picks up an injury, he's that bit older. It's going to take him longer to get fit. So, and we all pretty much know this is why Daka was brought in. But with what was I going to say? I thought we might get another season out of him, but I'm not. Well, I'm not sure.
The thing is though, you can still get a season you can still get 2 seasons out of him. Mark Albrighton came out and said it in an article. He said Jamie Vardy could easily, with the right management, I'm assuming that I only read bit part of it, that Jamie Vardy, he reckons he could, if he could stay fit, obviously play for another 2 seasons. You don't have to play every week to be a player every season, in the sense of, if Jamie Vardy, is managed right and comes back from this injury right and fully healed, even if it's 3 games left in the season, and and then he plays 20 minutes, and then he comes on as a second half sub, and then he gets a full 90. Even if that's how he starts getting used, Jamie Vardy, you'll still get 20 odd games out of him for another 2 years, using him like that. So he's still got another 2 years, and that gives even more learning time to Daka, to adapt to the Premier League and adapt his game. And yeah, it's something that I'm pretty sure Jamie Vardy would be very interested in. I'm pretty sure his deal is still for that anyway. So I can just. He's not going to go anywhere else, is he? Unless he's going to.
I don't think he is now. Again, I was asked that, would he drop down? And I said, well, he doesn't need to.
No, the only way he would probably do that, and it's not looking like happening, but I don't think, someone will have to inform me, but the only slight possibility I could see is Sheffield Wednesday in the Premier League. He might go there for a season to end it at his boyhood club. And I'd never begrudged the man a move. I wouldn't have begrudged him if he went for Atletico that time. If it if it happened,
I just think he's he's got a lot of kids.
He's settled as well, isn't it?
Yeah, he's set exactly. And I think when he does retire, he's got an American club that he can go to.
Yeah. So he'll just go over there. He'll jet off into the sunset, which he deserves.
Think he will do. I mean, Christian Fuchs is playing regularly in America.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be talked about at some point, isn't he? Like other Leicester players have, virtual, like Lineker, and like Steve Lynex, because he pays me £50 to mention him in that category. No, he doesn't. But there'll become generations that keep talking about making a Vardy statue, won't there?
Yeah,
as we've heard, because he's going to go up there. He'll be forever remembered, like the legends of the club have, for what he's done for this club. So, yeah, just loyalty is not found that often in football, so I appreciate it even more when it's here.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, he's got the ready-made option in America, hasn't he? And he's not poor, so he doesn't he needs to. And can I just say, I've taken one for the team, guys, because I did beg the Newcastle show last night to take Perez back, and they wouldn't. I even said we'd drive him up there ourselves, and they still wouldn't take him back. But I've got another 3 shows coming up, so I'll keep trying. I'll keep plugging away, see if they'll have him back. I said we've got the receipt. But
do you know what? Though? All joking aside, and I know I obviously play up a little bit on the vendetta I have against Perez. I just really would wish he'd get picked one game, scare you after death, and then go and have an amazing performance and then back it up. I just want it to happen, and because it's not happening, I think he's got to go. I know he's got to go. He's got to go because he's just not done that.
He has been unlucky, in fairness, because at
times
he's been played on the right, and he's not a right winger. He's more of a number 10, but we don't really play with number 10s these days, so I don't know any club that he might fit in.
Maddison's ahead of him.
And Maddison's ahead of him anyway. So
probably say now Dewsbury Hall's ahead of him if he could play there.
Probably now.
Probably. Kid's got it. Lukeman as well can play there.
And the thing is, he's had enough seasons. Unlike Vestergaard, exactly. I'm hoping Vestergaard will come good next season. And I'll take that score, Hayden. By the way, I would grab your hand off for that.
Yeah,
now.
I'll take. In fact, I'll take them. I'll take our 4 goals in the first 15 minutes. If you
that would be nice, like Derby.
Yeah, I remember that Pride Park. Yeah. I thought I'd just give you a little.
But I think Vestergaard will see him settle more in next season because we've got more of a settled team. But Perez, I just think he's off it. But what I thought we'd just very quickly do,
Yeah, go on.
let me just set this up, is just have a look at sort of who might be starting tonight. I mean, you know, we had 7 changes for Crystal Palace.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
we
we
did.
know we're going to get those changes this, you know, I think tonight.
Oh, no doubt.
I think the exciting thing is that we had two centre backs that we can change for another 2 centre backs. I mean, I didn't even know we'd got 4 centre backs.
I know, right? Imagine being able to tell you. Imagine living in a world where your manager can tell 2 centre backs to put the feet up, not because they're broken the legs or something, but because they're not needed for this game.
Yes. Totally.
They can rest up a bit.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm going to wake up and it's going to be Crystal Palace, and we've got 3 crippling injuries, isn't it?
Don't. If we do now, it's your fault. But I think we know Casper's going to start in goal, isn't he?
No, Jakupovic.
Well, hey, don't. Okay, if that happens, I'm blaming you, because we haven't got Ward. So
no, I think Jakupovic could be our spider Callum. I reckon he'll do an O'Neill tonight, 120th minute. He throws on Jakupovic because he's a penalty king. And then
I tried to tell.
And then no, I'm going to top it off. I'm going full Crystal Palace for this today because I just want to. Right, what's going to happen is Vestergaard, who's been brought on as a extra time sub, shins it in from 6 yards out.
I was talking to the Palace fans, and obviously for the game last week, they were sort of talking about that Claridge sort of shinned it in and sort of thing. I went, but he wasn't the hero of the game when we swapped tag, and they couldn't.
Yeah,
they weren't having it.
Martin O'Neill, mate. That's where I get inspiration from, thinking outside the box.
Yeah, Scott. Good evening. How are you?
I think the actual Palace players in that game even admitted that completely threw them off.
Yeah, they weren't expecting it.
They didn't know how to react to the substitution. They're like,
yes,
yeah. They didn't expect a goalkeeper, because first choice, you stay in goal, don't you? Well, we all know what Kepa
did. Oh God, don't start me on him. Right, left back. I mean, to me, I can see Castagna coming back. Can you?
See, I mean, I can, but I can also see Luke Thomas playing. But I do understand that he's now rested Castagna. I was actually expecting Castagna to play. But I think maybe he goes with Castagna for the experience. I feel like Luke still adapts into the big game mentality, and
we know he can play in Europe. He scored a goal in Europe, Luke Thomas. But don't get me wrong,
he's getting there. But this may require to ride the wave a bit.
I think so. Yeah.
So I agree with you, Castagna. He's still learning. He's still got a lot to develop on his game. He's been brilliant for us. Don't get me wrong, and I think he's starting to get a little bit of criticism from some fans, which is unwarranted. He's young. He's still developing, but for this game, you got to go all the marbles.
It's going to be a really intense atmosphere, and
you've got to go with all the marbles. And this is why I think the centre back options.
And then I can see Luke Thomas coming back for Newcastle. To be honest with you,
take a different approach. Have Justin maybe on the right or Ricardo.
Well, I was going to say now on the right. Do we go? They've not got James Justin there again. For God's sake, BBC, you're totally rubbish. You're totally, absolutely rubbish. I mean, I was thinking Piera for the same reasons that we've just said.
Could
Piera play tonight and Tuesday and Sunday? I doubt it, because he's not really back, if you like. But
maybe you're looking, and managers have to do this, and that is, they've got the thing is that Brendan does have a luxury now, is he's got 3 very capable players that can play on that right hand side, and also on that left. With credit where it's due, I think we've got 4, 5 maybe versatile wing backs at this club. And I do like that about us. So you could look to argue and go, well, he'll play Thomas on the left and Justin on the right against Newcastle, because you seem to get the same dimension. You've got one that's very good on the ball in Castagne and Thomas and gets a pass off more times than not, but he's not the quicker one. Yeah, the quicker one is your Justin or your Ricardo. So either or for me, but I could see why Ricardo's there. I'm
going to say Ricardo, because I think, you know, he can come off then if he he's
and
got
you
the
can put Justin on.
like Castagne, but he can come off if he's feeling a niggle or not, you know, getting tired a little bit. But I think you've then got Justin and Thomas that will come back against Newcastle United.
God, mate, we're starting to get parents all over the pitch. So this is worrying me.
Well, I can't believe we've actually got a choice.
I know, right? Normally we're just like this. Well, normally, folks, we've done this by now because it's the same 11. But
exactly,
it's a non-injured 11. But it's nice.
I've gone for 4-3-3 because I think that's what he will play, because that seems to be his preferred at the moment. For me, those middle two there, it's going to be Evans and Fofana, isn't it?
Experience and brilliance, of course it is.
Yeah.
The brilliance of Fofana. I mean, like I've stated this since he started the club, and it's continued even after his recovery from that disgusting friendly game. But the kid's class. The kid's just got a brain of a 35-year-old footballer that's seen it all and experienced it all. The way he reads the game is phenomenal. And you've got the experience of Johnny Evans, which allows him to have that freedom. And I think that's what you need when you're young in the side, and it's what's helped Dewsbury Hall. The way that team is together and the way they work to each other when they click and it works together, and it's just fun to watch.
Can I just say to the BBC, you haven't got Wesley Fofana in, who we signed a couple of seasons ago, but you have got Yannick Vestergaard in. BBC, get your act together. You're supposed to be our national broadcaster, and you don't even know who's in the team, and you expect us to fill these in, and then you don't put the players in there. So what the useless BBC, absolutely useless. That's my rant over. So I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave a gap there, but it's going to be for Fofana.
Well, I tell you what you can do in the edit, mate. You can make your own circle badge and put Fofana.
Exactly.
And let's click on that side. Click on that. No, click on the actual Defender Plus button again on that side. No, I don't know why, but I was just wondering if it was one of them weird things where he's only predominantly on the left side of one, but he plays on the right. So I was just like, no, it can't be that. But
no, it's the BBC being rubbish. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So coming up left on the left midfield,
have we got everybody?
It's.
Every single midfielder player going, isn't it?
Yeah, I my question would be, how can you drop Kieran Dewsbury Hall?
You can't.
I mean, he's on such a high, but then is he going? I mean, the thing is, he's only 20, so could he play Sunday, Thursday, Sunday?
You know what? Some managers used to say, if you can't, there's something wrong with them at that age. I used to get told that if you can't play 2 games, then you know, 2 games a week, then you're not going to be cut out for it, no matter what position you play. Obviously, medical issues aside, obviously, but
of course,
when you're at that level, or any of the levels below, to be honest with you, when you're at a competitive level like professional or semi-professional to a point, you've got to be able to do it, especially when you're young. And the kid's a machine. He never looks tired, and he's played every game, and he's earned every start. And I am loving the little hype that's going around at the moment through pundits when they have to talk about Leicester, because he always gets a good mention. And again, one proud factor of my club that I have is our youth development system. The way we have used it over the past few years, even going back to the Voldemort in our story. He must not be named. Claude Puel started it.
Yeah,
People
he did.
don't like to admit it, but he did. And
You
Yeah,
don't know what
maybe-
you've got until it goes, do you?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, a process is a process. A different manager then was given the opportunity to direct us in a different path.
Oh,
and this
you
is what-
you said the P word, and Melina's just fallen off a chair.
I'm sorry.
I do, Spencer. How are you, Mike? I couldn't comment. You're right. Yeah. Now, on the right, I'm a bit worried about what he's going to go for. As I say, he, as in Brendan Rodgers. Let me ask who you were going to put there.
It's a big occasion. He's a big player. He's a big boy. He'll find his big boy pants. It's Yuri Tillemans.
On the right?
Yeah, Yuri Tillemans
Yep.
will sit on the right.
Yeah. Okay. And then in the middle?
James Maddison. He's going to stick James Maddison in the middle, mate. He'll want his best players out for that game. Like I said, you've got them at your disposal. You play them.
You're a bit worried there's nobody unless he puts Maddison on the right and Tillemans in the middle.
No, hear me out. Hear me out.
Go on. No. I'm saying because that's what he has done in the past.
Yes, I understand that, but I'm asking us tonight. We know that PSV will have to come at us. The crowd will want it. Every home crowd does. That's just common sense, right? They're going to want to because they're going to want to get their noses in front. They're going to want to show that they can see out games as well. You know, they're going to want to try and get themselves that goal as early as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So there's time to add to it, or you know, and really take the tie away from us. And that's why I've got Maddison back in that middle, because I think in attack it'll go to like a 4-2-1-3. I think he'll slot into that 10 role. That'll be the role that he's given tonight. He'll be given the freedom of the front line. I think Brendan Rodgers will revert back to having Yuri and Maddison a bit closer, so he's the guy he can play off when they try and break on the counter tonight. And that's why I've got him back in the middle of the park.
No, I'm quite happy to go with that. I was just sort of questioning, why, but you've answered that very well. So now then, I think we know. Let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. This is going to be an at show again, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. I think because if this was a group stage game, I'd go with Daka. If it was like second match of the group stage, and we knew where we stood, I'd go with Daka because they played the high press. We're getting behind that. But what we try and do as a team, and it's the second leg. If it, you know, what we try and do as a team is we read the opposition, maybe dictate quite early if we can how they're going to go about it, and then we press them, and then we like to keep the ball and allow our players to flood forward. And in Inacho is, like I call him, for the football managers out there, and I mean the game, not actual managers, he's a deep line forward. He'll come short to get the ball. He'll spread it to the Maddison and Dewsbury Halls as they go forward. And Yuri, if he needs to reset and let people catch up. And that's just what we will do very well with him there. So yeah, I agree. Nacho is an instant.
I must admit, I thought I would have. I started off and I would have liked to have seen Daka in here because I think they're going to play to Daka's strengths, as in with Vardy, is that he will run in.
I think Daka, the idea with Daka tonight is probably Nakadi's out.
Yeah, and I think when I saw him start against Palace, it's the case of, okay, we know where this is going. Thing with Inacho, again, he's got that little bit more experience of the of the team, and I kind of
it's kind of weird, isn't it? We're talking about a guy not playing in Europe who's our joint top goal scorer in Europe.
Yeah. And I think I can see why you would go for Inacho. I really do, because it's he can hold the ball up.
Yeah.
and that brings other players in. And I think I don't think we can rely on Dak. And like you say, it's stupid when you think he got 4 goals in one game against Moscow. But I can see what else Lookman brings to the table, if you like, you know.
Yeah.
Now, I thought Scott was going to say what I thought then, is that I thought you might go for. I'd have to disagree with Brad. How dare you, sir? How very dare you? As I think having Maddison and Tielemans in that midfield leaves us a bit exposed. I'd rather have Albrighton on the right of midfield and Maddison further up. I have a feeling we might. I agree with you, Brad. I agree with you. But I have a feeling that he might play Albrighton because he didn't play him at all at the weekend, and he played him in the leg. You know, the first leg. I don't agree with it. I think bring him on. You know, later.
If we're 2-0 up, if we can somehow get ourselves 2-0 up, get him on. Get him on in like the 60th minute. Throw him on. Because we need, you know, then that's the smart way to do it. I think the best way to get at PSV is to use Mark the way he's meant to be, the way he is. He's Mr. Reliable, he's Mr. Dependable.
Yeah.
We need to get at these, and with the greatest respect, he's like Steve Guppy, right? He can whip in the ball and it's a killer ball, right? And I appreciate everything that Mark does for us. But to get in behind and catch these out on their press, we need to be available to go at and I'm not saying Mark's slow, because he's certainly not for his age, but, you know, like just that little bit of extra zip and a little bit more of a drive about them.
Yeah.
We've seen where he puts the ball in from. It's normally just inside their half. It's not by the byline at times. So, yeah, for me, using what right, and he'll definitely play today at some point.
Like you say,
if things go well.
he's almost that super sub, isn't he, really?
Yeah.
I mean, like Mike said, asking where indeed he is, and we know he's out for the season, but you know, because I was half toying with sort of Chowdhury because we haven't got Mendy in there. But to my mind, they always say the best form of defense is attack.
Yeah.
And do we want to sit back and let them come at us?
Well, yes, I mean, the thing is, they've had 2 big injuries that aren't playing tonight either. Yeah. They've had the winger taken out, and I can't remember. I remember the other guy, but I think he might even be a defender. I could be wrong. Someone will have to.
Maduki, I thought somebody is.
And the guy, the lad, the young lad who we were originally.
Maduki or Madaki or something like that.
I'm not butchering pronunciations, but I know he's not fit. They've already come out. Their managers already had to admit it that they weren't playing. So again, I don't know how experienced the players that are going to come into. We won't know who they're going to pick until then. And I'm sure they're going to have all the confidence that they can do the job. They wouldn't be picked for this leg if they couldn't. Yeah. But maybe it might be, you know, if it turns out to be someone who's not experienced this occasion, not to sound horrible, but you might want to go at that. And if he plays on that side of the field, you know, it might be a field day for Pereira or Justin or wherever it is that plays on that right.
Noni Mad Wiki, apparently, according to, although that is the Welsh accent pronunciation that Mike's put there. Sorry, Mike, couldn't resist it. Scott says have a centre back out and a winger out from the weekend.
So that's vital. That's disruption that we're used to.
Yeah, and that's at both ends then, isn't it, as well? You know, say it quietly, but I think we're going to the semis. Yeah.
See, there's Wayne. Sure, Spencer, take the blame off for that. Thank you.
Now, then, this is going to be interesting because I think I know who I would like to go for. But who are you going to put to the left of Inacho?
Funny enough, I know actually I would say sometimes Loopman is better on the left. But Barnes just likes this sort of competition. He's got a good. He always seems to do well in this competition, either with assists or he's got a few goals. I believe he's like joint or second on that list of goal scorers for us in these competitions. I could be wrong. Someone might correct me on that one. But he seems to play well in these when he's given a bit of freedom. And if he's going to get that tonight at some point, and this is why I went I'm more happy to go with Iheanacho because I know who I'm putting on my right hand side. If you want them both, I can just say the other one right now if that helps.
Well, you're saying Lookman there, are you?
On the
And
right.
yes.
No, it'll be Barnes, sorry. Barnes on the right.
Sorry.
That's my gibbering and comparing, but I was saying Harvey Barnes just loves this competition.
Perez on the right.
Next question. No, Lookman.
Lookman, I take it then.
Adamo Lookman, because what he does is he's obviously adapted the way Brendan likes him, and I think that's what's got him back in the team. I think he wanted him to learn something on the training ground and get better at it, and then be given the opportunity, because he did superb against Palace. He was superb for his goal. He was superb for for his performance throughout. He got great more praise. But he does that backer role that he needs to be doing, which is dropping back better, staying on his feet, being alert. And both of them can get in behind the defence quite well. But for me, Lookman, you know what I think of him. I want us to sign him up. I think he's a great asset to us.
I do.
He always puts 110%. And again, someone that Brendan Rodgers clearly thinks is versatile. He's played left, right. He's played that.
He is more. I think his natural side is left. But obviously we've got Barnes there. But of course,
and he played across that attacking line, hasn't he? That's again brilliant on our behalf. But if that's what we've got, I don't see why. I would love to hear Brendan's reasoning come August or September if he's being asked the question of why didn't you get Lookman in? Because I honestly, for the way the kid's being and how versatile he seems to be, and that's willingness as well. That shows that he's maturing and learning well under Rodgers.
He's getting more time than Under did.
Yeah, he is, and he just looks like a player that's desperate to prove himself. Vardy, Blair are saying in that hunger he seems to show, because he obviously had that chance at Fulham, and that didn't stick.
He was injured a lot. He got a very bad injury. Up until him being injured, he was going to be Fulham's. Well, the Fulham fans were saying he was, he was their player of the season.
Yeah, and that's a hard statement. I think Dewsbury Hall was going to take that clean sweep this season, because even though he's
No, I'm saying when he was at Fulham.
But, I understand at Fulham. Yeah. But I think he could be. You would put him in a poll, wouldn't you? You'd put him on an outside poll that a cheeky 30-1 that maybe he gets the players, awards. But I would love for him to be a Fox next season. I think again, great investment, because the asking price probably won't change too much from what they're wanting, because they just don't want him. So I don't think it matters how well he does here. If Leicester come back and go, here's your X amount of million, he's a Leicester player next season, surely. Yeah.
Well, fingers crossed. And I think we would. I'd love him. I'm not going to argue. I would absolutely love him to be with us. Because we've had that problem since we sort of lost Mahrez, but there's no reason why. We've got Barnes on one side. He's come through. He wasn't available. He wasn't around when we had Mahrez and Lookman. And they say, look, Brendan likes his utility players. He likes to play in different positions, and makes sense. If you're going to buy unless that utility player is Phil Neville, of course. But it makes sense if you're going to buy a player that can play in two positions, to buy him rather than somebody who can only play in one. But I hope I'm not going to tempt fate here, but PSV Eindhoven have won just 6 of their previous 16 European quarterfinals, losing 9 of the last 10, including ties against Newcastle in 2003-04. But I didn't know Newcastle got through to a bloody semi-final, and Liverpool in an 06-07. So, maybe
it's Chris's fault, people. It's Chris's fault, people. He's just jinxed it now with this.
The BBC, mate, the BBC, not me.
Well done, BBC. It's all your fault.
Schmeichel says, Kasper Schmeichel says, on reaching the first European semi-final with Leicester City would be another important step in the club's remarkable journey over recent years. As a club, we have grown incredibly. Just look where we're sitting today. I did actually have to have a laugh, because You know when you go on YouTube and you watch the clips and it suggests other things for you to watch down the side, and then suddenly 3 hours later you're watching ships going through the Suez Canal or something. But they actually came up the other day with Leicester Yeovil. I'm thinking, oh, I wonder how many people are watching that. Yes, who remembers Yeovil?
Yeah.
I might have to clip. I think I'm going to clip that and use that as a jingle. But Brad, it's getting close now, so I'm going to have to say, give us a score prediction.
You know what?
I know it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, you know what though? I'm going to say that this is where Leicester season kind of does a Liverpool from last season, and we just sneakily keep going about our business. I'm going 2-0 Leicester.
I can't argue with that. That was probably at my mind, but I'm actually going to go that. I'm actually going to go, and this is going to be squeaky bum time, but I could say 2-1. I just hope it doesn't go to penalties.
Do you know what, Chris? I'll take your 2-1 if the following happens. Vestergaard comes on and it comes off his arse cheek in the 94th minute.
Yes, indeed, definitely.
I won't take it any other way. So if it happens and it's not Vestergaard scoring the winner, then
Mike's got us down for Mike's got us down for penalties. Don't like you, Mike.
I hate you, Mike. Oh, cheers, Mike.
No, not at all, Mike. I'm not happy with that. Well, we should be back around 8:30 tonight to do the post match. We've got Broski, who is a Holland-based PSV fan, coming on. Bear with us though, because of course, I don't know if we've got extra time tonight or whether it goes straight to penalties. But
extra time
and penalties. So we could be, it might not be till midnight, especially if we win and we're celebrating. So I would say just a few scores come in here. Scott has gone 3-1 Leicester. He's changed his mind. Spencer's gone 3-1 Leicester. Mike's gone 1-1 and then penalties. No, Mike. No. If you want me to be alive to do that quiz with you, it does not go to penalties. Brad, mate, thanks very much. I'll see you later tonight.
I'll see you later, mate.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And I think I'm about to make my first trip to the toilet of the evening.
I'm not taking that. I'm not going to laugh, mate. I'm taking that.
All right. I'll see you later. Fingers crossed. Thanks very much.
See you later, mate.
Cheers, mate. Cheers. So there, thanks to Brad. Yeah, 8:30 if it all goes to plan. If it goes to extra time pens, then I don't think I'll be here tomorrow morning. Let's put it that way. Scott, yeah, you're welcome, Scott. Thank you very much for popping on. And we will see you after the match. Oh, God, how am I going to survive this? Come on, the Foxes, eh? Fingers crossed. Come on. Remember, Foxes never quit. Keep the faith. And Vichai had a dream. Maybe we're just going to fulfill it this season.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram.